In this video, we're going to talk about interpreting test results and what to do with those results. Outcomes of the test could include it being a success, a failure, or you might be uncertain. Test results can be used for a range of purposes. Tests can measure successes against design criterion. Tests can inform prototype iteration. Tests can also communicate with a client or a sponsor. A successful test means that the design criteria have been met. Your team may still go back and choose to iterate. When all of your tests meet all of the stated design criteria and functions, then your project is done. Sometimes a team may have uncertain test results. This could look like a test failing before the results are actually gathered, or you may be testing with materials or in a range that are not fully realistic. When this happens, I can offer a couple of strategies. You may want to try to isolate the component that's causing the test to be uncertain. You want to discuss with your team and possibly alter the testing plan. Or you want to postpone the tests until more realistic materials or situation is present. A failed result looks like the test finished, but the device failed to meet the target value. If your team has a failed test result, you should isolate the component that failed, try to understand the mechanism of failure or the weak aspect of the design. These two strategies can provide insight into what iteration and redesign of the prototype is coming next. There are a number of strategies you can use to iterate on your prototype. First, increase the fidelity of the material of your prototype or parts of the prototype. Second, substitute components or parts. In other words, focus in. You can build a part to replace a purchased part, or you could revise or remake a component or part. Third, you could remake the prototype at a same or higher fidelity. If you recall the EDP diagram, there are a couple of backwards arrows. The most common place for iteration in the engineering design process is between prototyping and testing. The other example of iteration is going back to brainstorming after the evaluation step. A team is done when a design passes all of the tests and the design meets all of the design criteria and functions. At this point, the design is ready to be turned over to the client.